Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech doing my What to Invest In video for August 2014. I know we're on the second day of September. It took me a little longer to get this out, although the slides were available on Patreon for the last few weeks. So if you're interested in seeing this content before it comes out, please consider becoming a sponsor. You can do so for as little as $2 a month. Legacy's got some great cards right now that are really underpriced. Snapcaster Mage is poised to be the next Dark Confidant, and it's only $30. It is a house in Legacy, in Vintage, and in Modern. Stifle, another powerhouse, is super cheap right now because of the Conspiracy reprint. Pick up this card in foil and in regular. It will only go up over time. Toxic Deluge is one of the most exciting cards from the Commander set. It is a powerhouse. I saw it posted on a board the other day with someone selling it, and it had 5 responses within 10 minutes. You can't beat that. This card will be $25 plus in a year and a half. $10 is a steal on it. In Modern, now is the time to buy the fast lands. They're $5 a piece, and people haven't realized how amazing they are. 3 reasons these lands are great. Life matters. Many games come down to 1 or 2 life in Modern. These will save you life. Aven Mind Sensor does not shut these down. And Choke is legal. Yes, Choke is legal in Modern. Most people don't realize that because it's a Tempest card and it only really sees play in Legacy. But if you're going to stop blue decks, Choke is great, and neither the Dark Slick Shores or the Seachrome Coast are affected by Choke. I'm going to be putting a Seachrome Coast into my Tempo deck just to help with my matchup against Choke. In Modern, also, start to look at some of the control tempo cards that are out there. Trickbind, Shadow of Doubt, and Squelch each are extremely low priced. One of these cards could become the Stifle of Modern. Whichever one that is going to shoot up to the $20, $25 range and $40 to $50 for foils. My money is on Trickbind. Most people are betting on Shadow of Doubt, but Squelch could also be really good. It hits activated abilities, but not triggered, but drawing a card matters a lot also. In Modern, I also recommend picking up Pack Rats. Not the normal Pack Rat. The normal Pack Rat is going to drop in price. There's going to be a flood of them with people selling off their mono black decks. But foils, foreign foils, things that people who want to pimp out their decks will want to put into a deck will go up over time. I'm trading for these at $5 to $10. There's not a limit to the number that I'll trade for. I'll pick up another 10 or 20 and be happy. Long term, even if it's only a singleton in some decks, those foil versions will go up. Commander is having an interesting effect on the market. I go to a lot of conventions. I had Gen Con, GP Portland, and PAX all this last month. Finding duels has not been that difficult. The price has been pretty high on them. But finding chase foils in Commander has been really difficult. I've been looking for a Yavimaya Hollow for several months now. It's one of the few last cards in my mono green EDH. I haven't been able to find it. Foils for Commander have been going up over time. They go up slowly. They are susceptible to reprints, but these are 3 that I know are worth investing in. Edric is incredible, and he's cheap right now because he was in the Conspiracy set. Notion Thief is a blowout. I don't know why the foil is only $4. Nobody will trade it to me at that, and I'm even trading for it as high as $6. Sylvan Library, I had 2 of these. It's one of those cards that is just a powerhouse in EDH. Incredible. Someone asked to trade for my extra one, and I quoted them a price of $75, thinking that was high enough that I'd be able to keep it in my collection. They offered me $75 for it. The price on TCG is $55. There's no reason not to pick these up at $55 if you can find them anywhere. Vintage Online has spiked the price of vintage cards, but the cards online are still very inexpensive. Lotus is $200, Sapphire is $85, Time Walk and Ancestral are around $60 to $75. These are great prices for cards that will only go up long term. The other ones I'm a little bit skeptical on. They're pretty cheap right now. I would grab at least a single copy, but I wouldn't speculate on the others. Boros Charm is a house. It's an uncommon. It's super easy to pick up right now at $2. It's 4 damage to the face. That extra point of damage matters a lot in burn decks. It also makes your team indestructible. Zoo is going to get better because of the fetches. Boros Charm is a great way to keep Zoo alive. Pick up the foils now before they're 25. So one of the advantages of being on Patreon is I have been promoting picking this card up at $10. That's what it was at last week. Now it's $15. I still have it as a buy. It is incredible. The fetch lands make Courser better, not worse. Even though it's in a constructed deck, this will easily be a $20 or $25 card when it's at its high point in Standard. I'll get to this a little more when I talk about the fetch lands in a separate video this week, but still, trade for Coursers even though they're going up right now. In Standard, people are super excited about the fetch lands, and we're going to see a lot of people playing. Pick up the other lands. The Scry lands got better because of the fetch lands, and I'll talk about that a little more in another video. But even cards like Mana Confluence are starting to spike up. The cards that aren't as good as Shocks are going to be much better when Shocks rotate out. Pick them up now. Temple of Malady in particular, pick up the foils. This card may even be playable in Modern. I'm trying it in a Rock build and I like it a lot. FTV Annihilation just came out. It's pretty easy to pick up at the $40 to $50 range. Definitely grab it. My pick for the best card in it that's underpriced right now is Smokestacks. I picked up a set of them for $16. Super happy about that. I would even pick up a second set just to play in Vintage. The artwork looks great. Right now I would avoid Gristlebrand and Geist of St. Traft. They just got reprints as GP promos. They're very pretty, but nobody seems to want to trade for these. They're sitting in binders. I think they're going to dip down, wait about 2 months, pick them up then, and then they'll skyrocket long term. I would also avoid alternatives to Damnation that don't do what Damnation does, and cards that have yet to prove themselves in Modern, like a Persecutor. Even if they spike once, you would have to dump them right away. I don't think they have the long-term power needed for investment. Shocklands are still cheap right now. They're still at $10. Don't wait for them to drop massively after a rotation. You can miss the window to pick these up. Thanks. This has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech. If you want early access to these slides, head over to Patreon. I've got some great people supporting me there. Love to pick up a few more so that I can do some other cool stuff on the channel here. I also want to say thank you to David Brown and to Magic the Seattling for making this video so interesting. There was a great post by David on Magic the Seattling where we got over 50 comments on speculation. It really drove the ideas behind this. That community is just a wonderful place to be. Check them out on Facebook. I'll put a link down in the About section.